Hello buddies. Welcome back to Quick Movie. Today I will explain the Russian sci-fi films Gaurdians. The film begins later the Second World War. There was going on cool conflict among Russia and USA. Russians were leading tests to guard themselves from the USA, so they might fabricate the multitude of superheroes among the people, and these examinations were being led on the two people and animals where their DNA were being replaced. They were being transformed into superheroes in the wake of implanting the strength into them. These tests were happening in the various urban communities of the country. In which a portion of individuals were being transformed into superheroes, and these trials are prevailed on a portion of the people, and certain individuals gain godlike capacity. So they are transformed into superheroes. The first hero was who had taken a one-of-a-kind structure in the wake of getting the substitution of DNA. He could change into the strong animal. Second legend had got super speed. He was talented in swordsmanship. Third one had some control over the world's material as water, air and stone. The fourth one was a woman named Xenia who been able to make herself invisible. She could increment or reduction her body temperature, and she could likewise transform her body into the water at any time. They each of the four were generally unmistakable superhumans. A teacher was the main individual of the entire project. These are the examinations directed by Russia. Now a researcher named Eminent is found in the lab of America. His many trials were failed. As an outcome, USA specialists boycott his tests conduction. August begrudges when he realizes that Russia's investigation have succeeded, and he likewise becomes aggressive, being desirous. He disappears to an area from the Soviet authorities. Arriving there, he leads his mysterious and unlawful experiments. Many guiltless individuals become the casualty in this experiment, and they didn't have the foggiest idea what is the deal with them. Being aggressive, he starts to direct examinations on himself. Military gets information that he is directing analyses unlawfully. So military strikes on this lab had a place with him. Even he definitely realized that military is going to go after him. It was the explanation that he had set the bomb in the laboratory. Other military officials are killed by it while he remains secured. He is gotten in light of the conduction of his test on himself. He was seeming to be a creature under the effect of the experiment. He had transformed into computerized life form. As such, he could deal with machines. He could produce the power. He not just makes tumult here, but likewise he destructs that research center where the other supernatural people had been placed. Now superheroes had no sort of involvement to fight because they were new superheroes. So they had no mindfulness. How does what is happening be tackled? So they conceal themselves in the few corners to keep away from explosion. They push forward covertly from the world. On the opposite side, military is preparing their men. How these military robots can play out an extraordinary job in the impending battles. Suddenly, these robots become out of order, and they detonate the tanks of military while destructing the control center. Consequently, many officials and warriors meet their end. There is, as it were, Regal is survived. After this, Service of Guard holds a meeting. It is chosen in it that superheroes should be brought back after searching. So they might battle against Eminent, supporting government. The leader of this mission was Major Elena. He orders her group to start the endeavors to look for the superheroes. The first super specialist is found in a location who was wishing to stand up to Admiral commonly ago because Regal had put a finish of the numerous guiltless individuals' lives. He joins when he realizes that this tactical's main goal is against August. The second super specialist is found in another country. He likewise agrees to help government. Third super specialist is found in the Timberland, and last one was Xenia, who had become notable subsequent to acting in the carnival show. She likewise concurs for this mission. Also, they all stuff up for the mission. They plan to start with to destruct the research center of August. Going there, they face the high alarm security administrations in that location. August's men are monitoring, waiting around his laboratory, making herself imperceptible. Xenia is proceeding, but Admiral and his security were at that point hanging tight for these super agents. So August's men attack Xenia, discharging their guns. Consequently, Xenia is halted. Two other super specialists are likewise battling a lot, and they put August's men to end. Soon they are infused with a medication to make them unconscious. The third superhuman who have some control over the things, and he had an extraordinary hostility with August, both used to disdain each other. So Eminent himself comes outside to confront them. But Regal was more grounded than that superhuman. So Admiral discards him while killing him. Then every one of the four are captured. What's more, Regal places a choice before them: join my group, restricting government, and be the dissident of government. Yet, they will not convey it out. So Regal blows his top on it and he entangles three of them. And he leaves an attractive field which diminishes their powers, while fourth superhuman is harmed badly. In this way Russian supernatural people were being ensnared by the enemy. August pushes forward for his next mission. He gets a handle on the tactical tanks and vehicles, and he drives them in the populated area of city, which creates the uproar there, because all tanks were making the disarray. Heavily influenced by August, many honest individuals are victimized. Then he uncovers two gigantic pinnacles. Furthermore, his helicopter carries him to a place. His design was to hold influence over the signs through satellites. Along these lines, he will deal with all innovation and the satellites. Doing thus, the executes as rocket, helicopter and airplane will go under his hold, keeping the world under his influence. He will possess the entire world, then he can go after anybody as per his will. Major Elena herself goes looking for her superheroes, whom she gets them with security. Her nationalists' facility. She thinks these supernatural people are new and the preparation is expected for them. Then she thinks, how could they train? Then she comes to realize that there was August's old friend in last working laboratory, who was an elderly person. He had mindfulness about August and his module project. Major Alina becomes effective to look throughout that August's buddy in some way. Major Alina tells her, there is an indistinguishable of August. We should really take a look at him to know the lack of August, and we might go after them. Conflictingly, Regal arrives at a spot, lifting towers. He sets his robots on the structures around the building. They kill the troopers, clearing their direction, surprisingly assault them. Then he turns on his framework through his brought towers, and he likewise gets the hold of the focal satellite. Major Alina is preparing capably to her superhumans. How did the battle will be held? How could you battle? How did the weapon be fired? Those supernatural people are given the dresses as per their doled-out mission. So they might get more power since those dresses were something threatening. At last group is ready for battle after an extreme training. Then this group arrives at their. What's more, it starts killing August's men. They likewise show up where his show was going on. Then they come to the overhang of the building. There was major areas of strength for A to join the structure and tower, and they advance through that pipe. But August's men start to fire, coming their point. One of their sidekicks godlike endeavors to save them. They were as yet trapped in trouble. Then a godlike shows up while flying in the air. August's men are tumbled down as he goes after his men, and now they. Each of the four way to deal with that tower. Their mission is to destruct August's framework and his control. Xenia continues and battles to ruin the power source. She loses her cognizance, not enduring sufficient power source. Then another godlike eliminates her from that point. While coming, power source was harmed for some time. Then they all supernatural people come upward. They start to fight with Eminent. In any case, he was more grounded than them. He thumps every one of them, hitting. Eminent is going to kill them. Then a friend of them approaches there. He lifts his three of the colleagues, utilizing his power, and binds them with a rope. That rope is attached with an aircraft, but Regal will destruct that plane, keeping his command over it, and that godlike loosens the rope who had brought them there. They every one of the four fall into the water. They again proceed to stand up to August. Then Major Elena comes there. Because Major Alina had gotten data by August's old companion, that elderly person was contemplating the DNA of each of the four supernatural people other than August. It is uncovered to him that they can create serious areas of strength for A, joining their all powers. That power will be detonated as it crosses its boundary, and it will spread all through the world. In along these lines, Eminent alongside his power source will be eradicated. So they every one of the four start to deliver the best power, utilizing their powers, and an energy wave starts to create there, which was full power energy wave. That full power spreads in the entire world after the explosion. August and his module venture become the objective of it. It is crushed and Regal is likewise dead. Russian supernatural people secure the entire state. They are exceptionally energized subsequent to being triumphant in their mission, and the film additionally finishes with it. Thanks for watching. Please buddy subscribe for more videos like this and turn on notifications. Leave a like to help the channel out.